said my boy Rip Michaels is in the building. New York King of Comedy. What's good, baby?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm glad to be in Jersey. That's number one, man. I made it here safely. Yeah, this is like the Gary, Indiana of New Jersey.
I'm a fan. I did my first year in New York City when I moved here from the South. I stayed in Brooklyn, like downtown Brooklyn for a minute. Came to Jersey.
From like Louisiana,
yeah,
right?
From Louisiana down
That's
south.
my mama
man.
from. Yeah,
So this is a little bit more my speed. You know what I'm saying? Everything's a little.
This is okay. This is okay. Fifth quarter boy.
Something like that. Something like that.
You from Shreveport? You from the Cooper Road? Where you from?
What you know about Shreveport?
Come on, man.
You don't know something about Shreveport.
Come on, man.
My pop stayed off the Cooper Road.
Off the Cooper Road, man.
Cooper Road, where you at?
Shreveport,
call in. Rip know about the Cooper Road.
The Cooper Road. What?
Yo, I want somebody from Louisiana to call in real quick and sing me that Cooper Road song. Y'all don't wanna mess with us. Cause I'm not gonna do that, bro. I'm not finna get ratchet on the radio show. I'm in the East Coast now, baby. Yo, Rip, man, let's talk a little bit about this show last night. Yo, it's crazy, man. So, I had the opportunity to take it out to the Bronx. Rip put on a hell of a show, man. Rob Stapleton, shout out to them. But that was a dope event, man.
Yeah, it was cool. They do that every week, and it's one of the biggest rooms in New York, man. Big shout out to Rob and the whole team that does that. It was me, Tony Roberts. You came through. Smokey was there. Lil Rel, Hugh Morris, just nice. The onslaught of comics. It was crazy.
It was. I saw Smokey in there.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Everybody just lined up because when it gets that hot, it's crazy.
Salute. That was definitely a good event to kind of connect with, man. So I'm gonna jump right into it without wasting any time. Before I even get into your background and your history.
No, I don't have herpes.
See that?
You ask me.
All right, let me scratch
Christina
that.
Milian
Let me scratch that off. Let me scratch that off the list. No herpes.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Yo,
that's
so
raging.
Touch real quick first on the question of the day.
Okay.
I mean, you have a child.
Mm-hmm.
How soon do you?
Well, I'm a single father, so
and he's got a daughter. You know what I'm saying? Shout
out
to the single dads. Shout out to the single dads.
I don't want no applause because I wasn't trying to be a single father. I was trying to get my child support lowered and left with my daughter. I don't know how that happened.
Damn.
I was like, this shit is weird, Your Honor. Can we do this again? No, I'm joking. I love my daughter to death. I wouldn't trade her for the world. My daughter is 10 years old. She'll be 11 on her birthday, man. She's getting big, man.
That's just the time fly. Mine's 2, man, and I'm scared. She ran all over.
So you got a girl with you. Like when I say single, I mean my baby mother live all the way in Orlando. I ain't seen my baby mother in like 5 years.
What?
Yeah, seriously.
Y'all talk? Y'all have a...
Nah, ain't nothing to talk about.
What?
I don't get no child support, man.
What?
Like, see, that's why I wouldn't trade my daughter for the world, and I don't think nobody would trade their kid for the world. But if you had a time machine, things would be different. That's all I'm saying. I would go in time and tell myself, do not pick up the girl from Applebee's. Do not do it.
They was on the 2
Stick
for 20.
with chili hoes. Outback bitches and chili hoes. That's what I got to do.
Yo, so now that we own this, so how long do you wait before you meet a new chick that you taking seriously? You know, how long do you introduce her?
Honestly, I said it real seriously. I don't really introduce anyone to my daughter. That being that she had her mother's not around. I take it very seriously not to have her around any influencers or anyone that I don't feel is someone I want her to be like.
Sure.
So if you dated me and you haven't met my daughter, it's because you ain't shit.
Damn! Get your shit together.
My pastor told me to tell that. My pastor told me to say that. My church is very progressive. The single women ministry sell pussy at my church. Hey, when the cakes ain't selling, you must sell the pies.
You gotta sell the pies. You got not the white only pies.
I'm just joking. We do sell Kush though.
So I figured that coming from a dad, you got to be protective over who you're bringing around your kids and all of that. So
I think women should wait for a while because you don't know. You don't want to be caught up in that. You don't want to meet a woman and then meet a son and then son like you, and it's just weird. You was a cool dad. And now you out the picture. Now you ain't coming over no more bringing Dominoes and Hot Pockets and Juicy Juice. And he all messed up in the head. Now you got to go back to regular shit. He's just like, damn, man, we used to go to White Castle every weekend. I miss George. George was a good man. Like, mama, you fucked that all up.
Damn, George. Yo, so
shout out to your crew over there, man. They look like a group right there.
We got Dre. They a solid team, man. Shout out to the team. Shout yourselves out, baby.
They look cool, man.
They legit, cool. Man.
Huh?
Yeah. You see the old school shit.
You got the old school stuff. You got the little curl thing. You got the little glasses.
Times we got in here, right?
At the family reunion, who we introducing? Who we introducing? That is your crew. And I really do like it. Give it up for the Real House husbands of ISIS.
No, he didn't hit him with the ISIS. Yo.
That's the show.
Yo, that's Wildin' Out style. He hit it with the Wildin' Out style, baby. Yo, so Rip Michaels is in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, call in. Hashtag Ask Rip. So if you got a question, something you want to know about him,
man. I'm the king of clutch it.
Let him rip, man. No question will go unanswered. 201-467-4673. Going right back into how we even came here today, because obviously you have a resume that speaks for itself. But let's go back just a little bit. Before, any of this even transpired, at what point in your life did you even decide comedy was something you really wanted to take seriously and pursue?
I've always wanted to be a comedian since I've seen Martin Lawrence on Def Comedy. It was always my goal. And when I graduated from college, my best friend Jermaine, he passed away, and he was like, "You always should do this. You should always do comedy." So I literally came to New York, just like yourself from Chicago, and I just came here, and I literally slept on the streets of New York for a year. I was homeless, it wasn't like I couldn't get a job if I really wanted one. I have a degree and everything. It's just that I needed to know for myself was comedy what God wanted me to do. So I lost, like, I came here like 300-some pounds, lost like 100 pounds in like a month, like living out of valleys, and then my comedy career took off, and the comedians used to make fun of me, like Kareem Green and Jace Cross. They'd be like, "Man, what are you doing with that big bag? Are you a magician?" Because I used to have my bag, and then I used to just take all my stuff to Bally's, and I used to work out in Bally's, and that's why I would shower and shave, and I just wanted to know that I had the ability to do this, that this was something that God put me here to do, because I always like to see people smile and make them happy, no matter what the situation. I've always felt like I had that gift to make people and take a little bit of pain away. So
word. Ladies and gentlemen, you hear it right here. Charlie Wilson Radio, sitting here with the one and only Rip Michaels. I guess, he knew at an early age this is something he wanted to do, man, and that's kind of similar to my story, man. I mean, I'm from Louisiana. We both outsiders, you know what I mean? And you got to give it your 100% before you just let it go. And I told my lady, I told Bae the same thing. I was like, "Bae, like, I'm okay, being corporate and going to work, but I got to really know if I can do this. Because I don't want to be 50 and saying I wish I would have and I wish I could have." So shout out to you for pursuing it, man. It was worth it. You made some sacrifices, and
it's been a hard journey, man. I used to do clubs after I got homeless, and then shout out to Christina Milian and Jace Cross and Nick Cannon and Kareem Green. I never forget Kareem was one of the first people, and Jason was one of the first people to see me homeless. And because I didn't know where I was staying, it was like, "Where you staying?" I'd be like, "I'm fine. You homeless. You can get dropped off anyway." Be like, "This is good. You ain't got nowhere to go." So then Kareem one night, he was like, "Where you really live at?" I was like, "Dude, I really stay in this park over here, Bryant Park." And then one of the security guards was a Haitian security guard. He used to always let me stay there. And he would always let me sleep there. He wouldn't bother me because normally you have to get up. Wow. We used to read the Bible together. So it was a really cool journey. And then when comedy started taking off, my first thing I did was Christina Milian, Little Cost thing with her and Nick Cannon. Wow. Shout out to Troy Byer, the director. She really looked out for me, and that started taking my career off.
How did that even happen, though? Because you went from doing, open mics, and then eventually getting booked, and then what was that first door to kind of open up? Because once that domino started to fall, it really started to triple over. But what would you say that first significant moment kind of changed and was like, okay, I think I'm kind of getting on now.
And it ain't happened yet. So when it does,
I guess what was your biggest accomplishment from going homeless to that first moment, should I say?
Honestly, my biggest accomplishment was being able to do it with my daughter. Like, I used to literally have my daughter, and I would have the car seat, and she would be with me everywhere I went, and she would be in the car. I'd be checking on her, I would do my stage thing, have other people hold her. So that was, I would say, my biggest inspiration, watching her grow up and still longing to cling toward me. That was a real big thing, because my daughter chose to live with me. She really did want to. I know I joke about it, but that's my heart, and that keeps me motivated. But if you're talking about in this entertainment, I did, believe it or not, my first television appearance was Becoming. A show called, Christina Milian hosted a show called Becoming, where you dressed up like 3 people and they got to win, and whoever won, whoever looked like the celebrity got to make a video, and I was Ja Rule. I was that small and that skinny that I won the Best of Ja Rule thing, And Mama Milian was like, "Hey, Rip, I think you're super funny. You should do the warm-ups." So I started doing warm-ups, and then she flew me to L.A., and they took care of me and put me in a movie with Troy Byer, whose husband directs all the songs.
Wow. That's dope, man. So before I even get too far off the subject, man, I got a lot of ladies that's been hitting me up, and everybody, the sparkles are shooting, and everybody wants to know, are you single? You got a bae? Is there a girl? Like, what's what? They check your gram. They looking for her. Where's she at?
Well, my life is dedicated to my daughter.
Good answer.
Dedicated to my daughter.
He's focused.
Man, when I tell you dedicated to my daughter be coming in smelling me like, "What other bitch kids you was playing with?" I know you ain't got no Tokyo.
Like, I don't need no sisters and brothers.
She be like, "You was over there. You was playing with that other bitch kids. That's what you was doing. You smell like tokens. You got Chuck E. Cheese tokens and tickets in your pocket." So,
wow.
my daughter really taking that onus. Like, where you been at? I'm like, text me. What's going on?
Dope.
I know the show ended by now. I'm like, you are my child, and don't question me, but the meatloaf in the freezer.
Dope. So I guess something that I think a lot of listeners could kind of listen to and hopefully be inspired by. I mean, what would you say is something that inspired you? You know, whether that be a person or what was it that kind of drove you to continue to push at this? What's your inspiration?
To continue to push at it, or what was my initial? To continue to push at it, I answer in two parts. My daughter is my reason to continue to push at it because she made the transition, and I didn't really pursue television for a long time because I needed to be home. And then my daughter getting older, I was like, okay, I can't just be on the road all the time. I need to have more of a stable of lifestyle. So I needed to be more on television and do more film
work.
Did
you ever feel like quitting out there?
No, man.
Really?
No, you know, and that's why I think that people give people bad advice in entertainment when you want to live your dream. People tell you, oh, always have something to fall back on. And I know parents and grandparents, they love you, but you never need nothing to fall back on, my dude, because you only fall when you quit. So as long as you don't quit, you never fall. You may not be Eddie Murphy, you may not be Nick Cannon, but you'll be Charlie Wilson. And you'll be Rip Michaels. And whatever that is, that's who you'll be.
Create your lane.
That's who you'll be. And as long as you're comfortable and you love what you do and it's for you, then you'll never fail. I don't see any way possible of failure except quitting.
Dope. Yo. Woo! Is that real? Yo, 5 years from now, I mean, this interview, I can only imagine, you know, what type of seat, you know, he'll be sitting in and how, I guess, where we'll all be. So definitely some good words of some wisdom. Y'all continue to listen up. Call in. Let us know what you think. Touch on that question of the day. Ask Rip. Hashtag Ask Rip. 201
Let's be clatchy.
467-4673. Be clatchy, baby. Throw it off. Throw it in the air. We're going to catch it and slam dunk that shit. Yo, I got to know, though, man. Shout out to Comedy Hype, man.
What's up? I mess with them.
Shout out to Comedy Hype. They holding it down.
And Loud Genius.
Keep shit going. Loud Genius is out there.
Humor Mill, all them.
You already know
Industry 21, Bully Mag, all them Kings Mag, all the people that keep the underdogs relevant.
That underground layer. We out here, so continue to unite, man. And I just think all of us will be positioned in different places. So continue to rock with us on that. But you know, speaking of that, man, the internet has just changed. Is such a driving force in today's marketplace in terms of comedy and entertainment. Because back when Martin Lawrence and all of them cats was around, even Kevin Hart back in the day, it wasn't on social media. You either came to support him and seen them, or you ain't really heard of this cat if you ain't made it to TV yet. So a lot of things have changed. Are there any comedians that you see right now, obviously aside from yourself, that are really running and making some moves in the industry?
Well, the trend, to answer your question, the trend is now more social media. It is really driven with the TMZs and big shout out to all the social media stars. You got a lot of them. You got the King Batches, the DC Young Flies, the King Karans. Right. It's a lot of them. Emmanuel Hudson, the Hudson Brothers, and a lot of them are cast members on the new Wild 'N Out. Like this is my second season on the show. First season writing for some of the comics on the show. So this is like, you know, and just seeing that the transition of internet is really, really relevant. People want to know their star. They want to know the kind of person you are. And then before, you didn't have to be that. Before, you were just this person that was in movies, and that was it. They just knew you as Martin from Thin Line Between Love and Hate. Now they want to know about you. And the companies, they're leaning toward it. They're leaning toward followers and eyes. So which one would you rather put on? A comedian that destroys in the club, or a social media genius who got more followers than the whole network?
Exactly.
It's like people out there that got more followers than MTV themselves. And it's one person.
Exactly. So
King Batch has more followers than Viacom.
That's crazy.
And it's a guy.
That's crazy.
It's one guy. It's one person, and when he goes, hey, watch me tonight on, and big shout out to Nick Cannon for embracing that and developing those stars. Like, that's one thing I will say about Nick and even Brandon T. Jackson. They really helped develop. And Nick is, I don't know, a lot of people don't give Nick credit. He's really shaped and molded a lot of stars. If you really think about Wild 'N Out, that a lot of people have come for that, and he gives them that lane to create, that lane to do whatever you want. I was being on the show, like Nick was like, hey, I would do things, and I would normally think I would get fired. But Nick would be like, that's funny. Do it. You threw powder on the whole cast. They want to fight you, but I think it's funny. Keep doing it.
So a lot of stand-up comics, you know, at least some of them have kind of had a little bit of friction towards internet comics. They can't get on the stage because what's happening is these internet comics are taking some of these guys as gigs, and these internet comics are getting booked. And some of the stand-up comics are feeling like, You know, they ain't doing it on the stage. He's bombing. He's not that funny. All right, put him on the stage and see what he can do. And it's just this kind of whole.
That's just hate. If anyone
so.
if anyone is doing that, it's just complete hate. Yeah. Now you do want people to respect the craft and and read the books on comedy and know how to do stand up. Like a lot of people don't take UCB. Like I went to the UCB. I've read over 20 different books on comedy, and I've taken stand up comedy classes because you want to know what double entendre versus play on words are. You want to read things so you can have the craft. Now some people don't like the fact that you don't know anything about your craft, and when they're saying, okay, well, set up premise punching, you're just looking at them like I have no idea what you're talking about. But I think that anyone, if you're going to be in this, should study the craft. And I think a lot of times you can jump in a plane and think you can fly just because you can play on Xbox isn't the same thing.
True.
So that kind of respect the craft type, I guess, not camaraderie, I guess you would say combativeness. I can understand, but just the fact that most of these comics just hate because they're popular and they're saying, hey, you have to open for this person. You're opening for X, Y, and Z. You're opening for this because they have the followers. They're putting the butts in seats.
Exactly. And that's what it comes to.
And it's a great time to be an entertainer. And I even learned by hanging around these King Batches and that I'm lazy for not even having that out there because it's an opportunity now where you don't need an agent as much anymore. Like you don't need to put the product. You're that funny. Show us that you're that funny. Show it, tag it, make people follow you. Have people tuning in every week. That's who gets the show.
Exactly.
Because you've proven it. Your track record proves it.
That's
when you
your
tweet.
That's your audition.
No, it's your show.
It's your resume. Your Instagram is your resume in a sense too.
It's like, hey, and I think that will.i.am said it best. He was like, if you're an artist, this is the best time to be an artist. If you're a true artist, this is the best time because you don't need a label and everyone else in the way or a network in the way of reaching fans. Now you can put something out immediately and find out if it's funny, find out if your record is hot, find out if it's vibing, and not in just a small area by doing one club at a time. You can do the entire world within seconds.
That's true.
So for people not to take advantage of that, it's like, what's wrong with you?
Now you got me getting in my bag. Now I'm about to talk my shit. Look, I'm not hopping out this foreign thing to go battle John the Don. You know what I'm talking about? Right. I'm not over here dusting off. I got the iPhone 7. Niggas don't even know that.
Ice, man, what's up, man? What you thought about that classic?
I'm just happy he got the chain, baby.
Listen, man, that's my brother from another mother, man.
Yo, and real talk.
This is my favorite battle. Tell me right now, Ice didn't have the performance of the night, though. That's nuts.
What you thought about that?
15 minutes